It's that time of the week, that time of the hour, it's that time of day. Welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Expectation podcast. With right here, as you can see, two of your most favorite co-hosts in the entire world. We got a man down, but he'll definitely be here back on the next episode. So be right, just be ready, all right? But here we are, brother. We're back here in the virtual studios. People can see the notorious virtual studio. You guys won't know where it is because it's a very highly disclosed,
Yep.
highly
Undisclosed
disclosed.
location.
Exactly, definitely. So, here we are, brother. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm
You
doing
hit it.
good, bro.
You do a bank stick up before you came here today?
No, the reason I'm wearing this lovely little fashion piece, not only because I want to look gangsta or
Yeah.
potentially rob a store later, later tonight. Just
Yeah.
kidding. No, it's cold. It's cold. I mean, right now I think it's like negative 15, negative, or no, not negative. It's like 15 degrees, 14 degrees. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
it's
it's
cold.
cold out there. So definitely, I just wanted to wear a little piece, to kind of just I guess commemorate that it's fucking cold. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. No, I hear it. That's exactly why I've got the face blanket going on right now myself.
The face.
Yeah.
Your beard, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, a beard. Yeah, my beard,
Okay,
my
okay,
face
okay.
blanket. And
Dude, I mean, your thing's girthy, dude. Mine's just like a little just brush, Yours
oh
is like a
yeah.
full size bush.
Dude. Yeah, she's
No,
warm,
man.
dude. But come
She's
summertime, man, it starts stinking. So I
is
gotta
it,
gotta trim those bushes.
I still think you should. I'm all for you just growing it out right, and like, what is it? Making like a full size ponytail, like down the middle.
Yeah, yeah, no, I it'd be really good. I think I have some Scandinavian in my blood, a little bit of Viking in there. I could do
Hmm.
it, but I think I haven't had a haircut in solid like 2-3 months now, and I'm just gonna keep it going, dude. I'm in that
What
weird
is it?
phase right now where it's all like it's growing over my ears. It's like it just looks like a mess. But I'm gonna keep going, and I don't know. I might just let it keep going for the rest of the year. Who knows?
Might as well, dude. I mean, you're already there. So, what's the longest you've ever like upheld just you not cutting your hair at all? Like, what's the longest?
Like, I mean, I think well, like I've shaved my head bald before, so then I had to wait like, until I could get some real haircuts to get it going. But aside from that, like just like current state, maybe 2 months, and I finally just throw in the towel and give Great Clips a call.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I gotta get a haircut at least every other like maybe 3-4 weeks at max. So
Yeah, but
I
you're
just
always
can't
looking
let it
fresh.
go.
That's the difference. I'm like, dude, like I can't go anywhere without people offering me money thinking I'm homeless. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm straight.
You stick your hand out and somebody just gives you change automatically.
Yeah, no, I was just going to shake your hand, bro.
Dude, so before we start this episode, let me tell you something, man. Like, so I'm a man of loving different foods, right? Like, I always want to go to a different spot and just try different foods, right? So yesterday, somebody gave me the weirdest combination of food. I don't know. I mean, you know what pico de gallo is, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, pico de gallo. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Pico de gallo with teriyaki.
Whoa. No, I wasn't ready for that.
Same thing, dude. The same reaction I said. The barber that I've been going to, he gave me the recommendation. What is it? Fortunately enough, downstairs there's a restaurant that does that combination. So I went down there, dude. I
No
recommend it,
way.
bro. I recommend it. I
What's
recommend it.
the what's the name of the spot? Let everyone know.
I don't know the name of the spot, but I reposted them on my IG account. But dude, I was so I told my wife, like, I texted my wife immediately. I was like, yo, there's this new spot right now here where I'm at. It was in Bothell. It's called Tajoya Bothell. Tajoya Bothell. If I butcher that, I'm sorry. But I definitely want to give you guys a shout out. Try the spicy chicken with pico de gallo. Phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. It's just that it's like it's almost like Asian food and Mexican food. Like they like certain dishes will go really good with each other, and that's what the barber said. That's like they're good. Like when you marry them up, certain foods, certain dishes,
Yeah.
they're so phenomenal, dude. So definitely go check that out if you're in the Bothell area. Very good. I highly recommend it. I definitely give it. I would say a 4.5 out of 5. in my book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
good, man. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I'm not gonna lie.
Man.
And I was skeptical. I was skeptical. Trust me. I would tell you full front that if it's like nothing of my liking, I will let it be known. But I would say this one was really good. So
I tell you
definitely go
what,
check that out.
after my fast is up, when we're rolling back over to our normal spot, dude,
Yes, sir.
we should on the way snag a bag of
Oh,
that.
dude. Oh, definitely, dude. Also, yeah, you're on your fast. For people that know probably didn't watch last episode, go check it out if you haven't. You're on your fast. It's at the end of this month. You're pretty much go back to kind of eating normal,
I
right?
think tomorrow's the 14th, so 8 days left. 8 days
Oh, 8 days
left.
left. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But the thing about these fasts is I love these fasts because they're, you know, I mean, you call it a fast, but it's really just like you're just limiting yourself to just you're basically a vegan for a month. Anything that is on the menu, which is it's really fun because normally vegans, they're really loud and proud about what they
Yeah.
do. They shove it in their face. I'm a vegan. I'm a vegan. I don't kill animals. I don't eat animals. I don't harm animals. Da 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 da. And I just can't stand a vegan. And so I just very quietly do these fasts. And I don't even, I say it right here because I just like, here's the gist of it. You're basically vegan, but I
Yeah.
don't look at it as I'm a vegan and I'm carrying that vegan flag with me, you know, and just shoving it down everybody's throat and shaming them for eating animals or whatever they want to eat.
Yeah,
Um,
you're gonna let it be known that you're a man of you're a carnivore at heart, so you're definitely gonna indulge maybe on a nice little steak when you get off your fast. Some steak, mashed potatoes, some asparagus. Who knows? Might throw a
yeah.
little salad in there too.
Yep.
Who's to say,
Yeah,
right?
I love my
So
salads, but I want to keep going with the trend though. I want to keep eating right.
okay,
Getting older, the
nice.
food affects you differently than when you're younger. When you're younger, you can eat really bad and it just doesn't affect you the way that it does when you're older.
Oh,
So,
dude. So speaking of that, I definitely wanted to talk about my experience with being sick this last time. I think this is one thing that I wanted to bring up to just kind of talk about. It was the sickest I've ever been. And I would say I got
yeah.
sick maybe a little bit before what is it, Christmas time, right?
Uh-huh.
Dude, I swear on anything, worse than COVID. Worse than COVID by like
That's
5 times
insane.
worse than COVID. It was bad. And it's one of those flu slash colds that it creeped up on me, and I was taking the usual Dayquil, NyQuil to kind of just get away from it and just try to do
Mhm.
my best. Vitamin C, orange juice, a little bit of orange juice here and there, and it wasn't getting any better. Like that's the weirdest thing of it all.
How
It
long did
just
that
slowly.
last?
It lasted, I would say, about 2 weeks.
2
two
weeks. Yeah.
weeks, and it just started elevating worse and worse and worse and worse. It
Yep.
got to the point where I'm like, yours truly, like I try to man up and just go through with it, the old natural way, let my body just kill off whatever germs are in there, whatever, you name it, right?
Yep.
Like Mother Nature intended.
Let the body do
But
its job.
exactly. So it came to a point where what I couldn't do. Like it just got to the point where it just felt like I couldn't really breathe normally. Like I was kind of what is like wheezing a little bit,
Ooh.
but like I felt like there was a lot of congestion built up, right? And I
Mhm.
wanted to cough it out, but coughing it out just hurt me a lot. Like it was to that point where I was just almost afraid to cough because it just hurt so much. So I had to go to the doctor, man. I had to tap out, go to the doctor, and he actually gave me some antibiotics, and he actually gave me an inhaler. And it's the first time I've ever had to even use an
No
inhaler, man.
way.
Yeah, straight up, straight up. I'm not
You
I'm not
got an
even
inhaler.
exaggerating. Yes,
That
sir.
is
Yes, sir.
insane, dude.
Yeah, man, and it helped out. Like I'll say, it definitely helped out in those moments where I was getting those cough attacks. It was just really weird. I told my wife that was the sickest I've ever been in a good minute. I swear.
That
It
is
made
wild.
COVID look like a walk in a park, like whatever, But definitely, and it's something's going around. All I know because there's some people that we know mutually. I actually have our friend. We'll just say his first name, Paul. He's going through right now.
No
He's
way.
going through the same thing and everything. It's just crazy, man. It's that time of
Wow.
the year, obviously in the cold time of the year. You're bound to have your flus, your colds, and all that. But there's definitely something going around that's just hitting people pretty hard, man. Like it's like I said, I would say I know at least 5 or 4 people that have gotten sick and experienced the same symptoms to where similar to what I was experiencing. So definitely, people stay up on your vitamin C, stay up on your OJ. definitely just sanitize your hands. Just we're looking out for you. We love you, people. So definitely take care of yourself. So, and at
Yep.
that time, it's like I would want to wear a mask just so I don't give it to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Out of courtesy for me to be like, nah, I don't want you to go through with this. If I'm feeling like this right now, there's no way I would want anybody else feeling like this. So yeah, that's my
Right.
little story on that, man.
And for the rest of the
bad.
audience, masks don't work.
Yeah, I guess it's just for me to try to at least do what I can right on my end, but
yeah, no,
or
I
just
hear you.
stay away from me, 6 to 7 feet away.
Yeah, no, I just had to stay on top of the propaganda. The propaganda was they tried to tell us masks work, they don't. But here's the thing, dude, I'm glad you're doing better. What
Yes,
was
sir, way
wild
better.
about when you got sick that day that we were supposed to meet up for a podcast?
Yes, we were.
That
Yep.
was one of our topics, was that there's this sickness coming around that is very COVID like and lasting for 30 days. People are dealing with that thing for 30 days.
Yes, sir.
And so, man, and then when I found out you had it, and then our homeboy Brad, he got sick himself, and it was wild because remember I told you guys I was trying to get miserable sick before my fast started, and I was the only one that didn't get sick. I didn't get touched on this. So yeah, but with Brad, he's not here, and we've had a couple of shakeups as far as Seattle sports news, and
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One of them was the fact that we were excited. Huskies first time they'd been in the NCAA championship since 1991. Right, they won in 1991, and
while ago, yep.
So then they ended up playing Michigan, and what happened? Did you watch the game?
I've watched just kind of like the updates like on the website, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we couldn't watch it that day, and I was just like, oh, whatever. I gave up, kind of trying to find a channel to like watch it, whatever. But it just seemed like we just couldn't really get anything clicking. Like we just couldn't get anything going from what I was seeing and from what I was listening to, clips here and there.
Yeah,
we just couldn't do anything, man. And it's like Brad made the prediction. I think the last episode when we talked about this, that he really felt like UW was going to take it all. But unfortunately, it didn't play out like that, right? Michigan got the win; they're the champions. And what's funny though, he did tell me this because we talk sports here and there. We'll text each other just kind of little bits and pieces. And just I like to get his thoughts on it because he's more passionate about the sports in general, and I love that. Like I love talking to somebody that is really in it to where like they kind of give you the ins and outs and kind of like the smallest details to where it just paints a bigger picture. And he's that type of dude. So
he can tell the story.
He can tell a story very well. That's one thing I do love about how he puts it down for sports. So shout out Brad for doing that. Absolutely. But he was saying that the coach of UW coach, as soon as that game ended, I think it's say a couple days after or soon after that, he left for UW to go to Alabama.
Yep. Damn.
I was like, damn. And boys like that.
Damn, and that so that was the big shakeup, right? So the score ended up being 34-13, correct? Yeah. 34-13. Michigan took it. Wasn't even a contest. It was a slaughter.
Oh, man. No.
But also I'm trying to find something on Pete Carroll.
Oh, dude, yeah. That one kind of surprised me only because there was people within the interwebs, of course, as always, I'm on X and I just like to see people's different perspectives, opinions, and thoughts about how things are going to look out for next year, right? Because we're out for the hunt. We're done. Season's over. Hang up the cleats, hang up the jerseys, you name it. We're done, so for this year. But for sure enough, like people were just kind of speculating, like, is Pete Carroll going to come back for another year? And I was certain, like for sure he was. Like there was no tell signs of like him leaving, right? But sure enough, they dropped the bomb on it that he was no longer going to return, but he's still going to be within the team though. He actually is going to be like in a coordinator or something like that. I don't know if I'm mistaken on that one, but he's still going to be involved with the team. He's just not going to be the head coach of the team.
Yep. And he's done. And so apparently he says it's tough to convince Seahawks ownership to let him stay head coach because they're not football people. Woo!
Nah,
Pete Carroll went out prior. The thing is, I can't hate Pete. He got us a Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Russell Wilson, he got us a Super Bowl. So, a lot of shakeups though in the sports world, especially for us in our area. lot of
Yeah,
shakeups.
man.
So UW,
Yeah.
they're gonna be dealing
New
with
head coach.
new
Yeah.
coach and
And so us, so
Seahawks,
Seahawks, new coach, man.
new coach.
Dude,
Yeah. So
it's gonna be interesting next year. I'll say for Seahawks, I'm looking forward to see who's gonna be running the ship. There's a lot of rumors that one of our, I think it's one of our old defensive coordinators. I forgot the gentleman's name. I apologize, but he was the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons one year. I don't know if you remember his name, but he was a head coach for Atlanta Falcons. And I think he's with Dallas. I want to say he's an offensive coordinator. I don't know.
are
I
you talking
wish
about
Brad
Dan
was.
Quinn?
Yes. They're saying that he's one of the dudes that they're eyeing to come back because he was our defensive coordinator one year or
Okay.
for a couple years, I believe. So
Yeah,
he's
that's the
kind of in the
report.
hunt to be, So he's kind of like in the hunt to be head coach. So we'll see, man. Time will tell. That's the only thing I'm kind of very curious to see how it's going to be shaking up because it'll determine a lot of factors, right? Because there's going to be a whole shift on how we play as a team. So I'm very curious to get like Brad's perspective to see like what he would suggest to recommend or what he feels would be the best possible option to go to see how we can flip this team and hopefully become Super Bowl contenders next year. So
Yeah.
we'll see,
Yeah.
man.
Brad,
You
if
know,
you're
so
listening, we will pick up on this conversation when you're back. We want to hear what you have to say about this. And also, anybody in the audience, we want to know what you guys think about this shakeup. Is the is the future going to be looking good for Seattle, bad or indifferent? Who knows?
Yeah,
We
or you
want
just don't
your
care.
opinion on that too.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what happens, and I'm also curious to see with the quarterback for UW, what happens to him after this. You know, like what's gonna happen. I want to say he said he's gonna be in the draft. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. So we'll see what happens with him, and hopefully he gets
Yeah.
picked up by a
Yeah,
team. And
I read an article saying that he had the it factor. So
okay,
I think he'll do good in the draft, and
okay,
looking forward to that. Hoping he goes to a good team.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man.
For sure, for sure. So a lot of things going up, a lot of shakeups, right? But brother, I mean, what's going on in this crazy world we live in, bro? There's a bunch of stuff, man. You know, I want to pick your brain on certain things. I know you've seen a lot of stuff because I send you articles here and there, right? Just of the craziness, the madness, whatever you call it, that's happening in our little world here, or especially United States. And the one thing that comes to mind, let's go into these random topics, right? We like to freestyle. We're gonna freestyle on this one, so nothing's written here, people. So we're doing this off top, like Brett does
Spitballing,
with his
baby.
clothes. Yeah, we're gonna freestyle today. So the one thing that comes to mind, Brett. So there was a little incident that happened. I don't want to say incident. There was a discovery that happened in New York. Now, we want to say that this was one of the things that I really didn't expect. And it kind of threw me off, like, wait, what? Like, what's going on? So apparently they found these tunnels, right? They found these tunnels that were who was I want to get these names right because I want to butcher anything. I want to get this correct the mundo because when we put these clips out, I want to definitely at least people know like, oh, he knows what he's talking about instead of like this idiot doesn't know what he's talking about. Get him off the podcast. I swear
Shut him up.
those are good. Shut him up. Put
We
him over
live
there.
for
Put him
fake
to the
news,
side.
though, baby.
Yeah. So they discovered these tunnels, right?
Yeah.
What's funny though, I did read an article about this. This is genuinely true. So definitely go check this out if you don't believe me.
Yep.
So they said that some of the labor, they actually got some Hispanics, some Latinos, some Mexicans to finish off the tunnels.
Not okay. Don't just
Was it
stick with the
tunnels?
race. What was their status?
Illegals, right?
Illegals, baby. Illegals. Jeez.
These guys are pros, right? These guys are pros at fucking doing it. We might as well
Yeah.
let them do this shit. It's
They're like, hey, y'all been working digging all your drug tunnels. help us dig some trafficking tunnels
oh my
underneath
god.
the synagogue. It's
what
wild,
are the conspiracies?
dude.
What are the conspiracies, or what are the I guess what's the how do we want to say this? What's the rumor on this? Like what was the reason behind these tunnels?
I'm looking at the New York Post, and the article says extremist Jewish teens secretly hired migrants to dig covert Brooklyn synagogue tunnel, Shawshank style. It says extremist students from an ultra orthodox Hasidic. I don't know how to say those names. Group secretly hired migrant laborers to help them build a controversial tunnel at the sex ward headquarters in Crown Heights. all to fulfill what they felt was a religious obligation to expand the holy site, the Post has learned. 6 renegade members of the Chabad Lubavitch Hasidic movement secretly began digging the 3-foot high, 20-foot wide, 50-foot long tunnel themselves using crude instruments and their hands. They stuffed the dirt into their pockets so their work couldn't be detected by the sex leaders and wider community, a source of the Orthodox community told the Post. You've seen the movie Shawshank Redemption. That's what these young men did at first. They dug and put the dirt in their pockets, said Etan Kalmowitz, a member of the, oh man, I can't say all these names, Lubavitcher community in Crown Heights. Later, the men, most of them in their teens and early 20s, took up a collection and hired a group of migrant laborers to finish the job. Kalmowitz said, describing workers as Mexicans. Oh,
see, so was right. So eat my shorts.
The workers lived at an abandoned building that contained a men's ritual bath near Chabad World headquarters at 770 Eastern Parkway, known as the community simply as 770, for the duration of the clandestine work, Kalmowitz said. The Mexicans lived in the building for 3 weeks during the work, said Kalmowitz, adding that the migrants did the work correctly and installed support beams. They slept and ate there because it was a secret operation. Another Chabad member said he was shocked by how they managed to hide it. I was surprised by the stealth and secrecy of it all, said 38-year-old Chabad member who did not want to be identified. It's incredible to me that they kept it under wraps. The yeshiva boys are very idealistic extreme. Or idealistic and extreme. Some of the students are on visas from Safed, a holy city in Israel that is considered the birthplace of Kabbalah or Jewish mysticism, said Chabad rabbi, who asked not to be named. The controversy over the clandestine construction project exploded earlier this week when members of the community discovered the tunnel and brought in cement workers to fill it in. Yeah, so that's how we all knew about it. They're just, the cops ended up coming in, fighting. I mean, everybody was fighting with the cops. And then they pulled out all these mattresses with stains on them. And so there was a lot of different controversies. So what were the controversies that you heard? Some of the maybe theories that were going on.
So the one I keep seeing is circling around, like this is like something having to do with the Clintons, and like this is something having to do with just like obviously sex trafficking, all this stuff, and just I heard of this other one where they were saying maybe they were just they were doing this for COVID too at the time of the lockdowns, like they were trying to like I guess still have whatever they were doing.
They didn't start these until 6 months after COVID was done.
Okay, so okay,
so that's what they did try to say that, but then who the user that I think his name is Mario something Norwal or something, even he admitted in the same very post that this didn't start until after COVID lockdowns were
okay. So that's done. What I read. Okay, so yeah, so those are the ones that I've heard that it was like some sex trafficking ring, ways to kind of sneak people around. I don't know. That's kind of what I've heard, but just the mere fact that they were doing this on like, you know, having illegals to do them for one. And then they started the labor themselves when they said, you know, screw it, it's getting too hard. We'd rather get some other people that have a pretty good track record on doing this type of stuff. Damn. So we're going to get people that we know to do them. And then sure enough, you got what you got. And then, you know, they found what they found, like, you know, them building those tunnels, which is crazy. Like, but this is what's weird. Check this out. There was a video that I saw. This was a couple months ago, bro. An individual walking on a sidewalk in New York. Now they're saying that person was walking right on top of the tunnels because he like stepped on the piece of concrete like on the sidewalk, right? And like it started forming a hole, and like he stepped on it, and all you could see was just like what looked like a tunnel, but he didn't think nothing of it. And then sure enough, when all this came out, he's like, that was one of the tunnels.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
It is crazy, man. It is crazy.
So now they're plugging them up, right? Like now they're bringing cement trucks and all that, plugging them up. Say, nope, it's not gonna happen.
Yep.
Of course. So how many did they arrest? Like all the people that have like obviously were involved with this, or
Oh, let's
what's
see
gonna
if
happen with
the
them?
article talks about arrest. Let's see. It says 9 men ages 19 to 21 were arrested for criminal mischief and reckless endangerment.
Okay, hmm. Slap on the wrist. It sounds like it to me.
Yeah, basically it's gonna get swept under the rug. I just want to know what was going on with those mattresses with all those stains on them.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I
kind
think
of odd.
I think there's more to that story.
I don't think they were
Definitely.
just having the normal slumber parties down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to be at one of those parties.
No,
I think
dude.
only the elitists go to those kind of parties.
Yeah, so one of the things too, I definitely want to give a shout out to a lot of people that have been liking our stuff on TikTok, but it's in relation to what we're talking about now, right? So I posted up a clip about obviously Jeffrey Epstein and kind of like the stuff that we were talking about in
Yeah.
regards to the Epstein client list and all that. So so this was a clip that we took off from the last episode. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's out now, right there. All major streaming platforms. If you haven't, go peep it. But we were talking about how are these people that are going to be? No, we were talking about how his death wasn't a result of suicide. That he was actually killed.
Yep.
And in the clip, we said, should we interview the cops that supposedly fell asleep and they missed all that happening while they were asleep when Epstein supposedly killed himself, right?
Right.
So a person that goes by the name of Kitty Cat here on our comments, she had posted, yes, updated interview with those officers. Now, mind you, I said it on the podcast already before on the last episode. I would be freaked out to even do that because I don't want to end up missing. I don't want my boy to end up missing. And yours, the whole episode would just go down in flames at that point. You know what I'm saying? We'd probably get a lot of clout. Yes, that's true. But then again, it's like I kind of want to stay away from that only because it was a joke. I mean, I'd be curious to know, right? To talk to these two dudes and have like a full blown conversation, like on the side, like not as podcasters, just be like, hey, so man to man, what really happened? Now, I honestly think that they were either one. I don't know. Like, could it be could they really be working for the government, or could they really be working, or could they been drugged themselves? Like they got put to sleep and then they really didn't know and they fell asleep at that point to where they made it seem like they were sleeping on the job when really they might have got drugged maybe at that point, or are they working for these people at the high levels too? Where like, hey, we're gonna take this person out, you're gonna just make it seem like you fell asleep, all right? Or else we're gonna kill you. Maybe they got threatened with their lives. Who knows? Like we really don't know at this point, right? And as of now, like I don't think there's even any interviews with those two officers that were there at the time
No.
when Jeffrey Epstein so-called killed himself, right? So Kitty Cat, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I wish we could. I mean, maybe if I don't know,
If I would do it
how would
myself.
it happen?
I would do it myself.
Okay,
I'm not afraid of anybody.
there you
I'm
go.
not
There you
afraid
go.
of what
He's on
these
that Tupac shit
if this no, I mean the government there's more good people that exist in this
for
country
sure.
than bad, and it's just that the people covering all this stuff up, they've got their leaders in position, they've got all this, but the more and more we do talk about this and talk about the truth of this and expose it, the more it will piss off the people enough to really just overhaul
Mhm.
the disgusting people in our government. I want all of those people out of office. And if we could land an interview with those cops, I would do it myself. I would do it myself. I would fly out to New York. I wouldn't care, but I would want to know that story. And I'm not gonna stand afraid of our government if they are that greasy. They're that just evil. So no, I would want the truth out because the more and more truth that we put out there and get out there, the more the truth that we get to hear, then that's when we finally get to start making real decisions for our country and for our people. And that's I think very necessary. And I think that those police or those prison officers, prison guards, whoever they were, I think they do have a story, and I don't think they want it on their conscience either. I think if they could stand boldly and tell the world what they saw, if it was nefarious or not. Maybe the truth of the matter is yeah, we really did fall asleep, whatever. But I think the world does deserve to hear, and I would be more than honored to interview those two gentlemen on the Beyond Expectation podcast. I'd fly to New York myself.
Damn. All I can see you is bumping New York, New York, big city of dreams, like that
Everything in
diss
New
song.
York
Yeah,
ain't always what it
yeah.
seems. You might get fooled if you come from out of town, but I'm Beyond Expectation podcast spitting them rounds. Yeah, baby.
So definitely no, yeah. Like I said, I don't think I even heard of an interview from those two officers. Like, if you really think about it, like there hasn't even been that much follow up from what I know. Just in regards to them, even I guess accounting for what they even I guess happened that day, right, or whatever.
Well,
So
my plea
I don't know,
my
man.
plea to those gentlemen is have the courage. If there's something that really went down, have the courage to say something, because what that so-called suicide was is a big cover up. There's a lot of names that are allegedly being protected, and we deserve the truth. All of those victims, all of those girls that were victimized by Epstein and everyone else on that island that partook in that, they deserve justice, and we the people can provide that justice with that truth out there. So anybody, if you guys are out there and you guys are willing to talk, uh, hit us up. I will interview you
The
personally.
DMs are
I
open.
will
The DMs
interview
are
you
open.
personally.
Yes, sir. So you can catch us. I mean, definitely the what is it? The Instagram tags down below. Be Honest Bishop Podcast. For anybody, I mean, we definitely one thing I think we've talked a little bit about this as well. We definitely want to get more guests on the pod as well, because I think that's what people like to hear too as well when we have awesome guests on the podcast. So definitely, if you have an interesting story, interesting individual, want to come on our platform on our podcast, you kind of just chop it up with the boys. More than welcome. Just hit us up on the DMs and we can schedule something out. It's just a matter of finding the right time and just to get everything acquainted, because that's the one thing. Like, just scheduling all this stuff and making it happen. It's just there's not enough hours in a day. I wish there was so we could crank out a lot of content, but we can only work with what we got. So definitely just in the realms of guests too. So yeah,
Yep.
so hit us up
Yep.
on the DMs for sure. So yeah, man. I mean, more of the story. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else is going to come out from those, like any other info that's probably going to come out from those tunnels that they cracked down on in New York. I guess we're going to be on standby to see if anything else is going to pop up. But there's okay. So switching subjects on this. So there was a recent well how would I want to say this? There was another recent discovery in regards to what is it? Another pretty groundbreaking. I don't want to say. I mean, I don't want to say groundbreaking too.
Hmm.
Let's just say very interesting video of another UAP they captured that was actually submitted by. I want to say it was in the army. I want to say I'm trying to find the article just so I know I can uh get this down right. Give me 1 second. So okay, here we go. So this is from taken from his X account, just kind of describing what this video details, right? So this goes by saying what you posted. Today we released a raw footage of a military filmed UAP incursion within the United States Joint Operations Base. This UAP of an unknown origin displayed transmedium capability and has been officially designated by the United States intelligence agencies as a UAP. This designation is currently maintained. The video of this UAP is called the Jellyfish UAP.
Hmm.
Raw footage. It's titled Video One. This happened on October 2018 in the nighttime. The footage was taken at a United States Joint Operations base in Iraq. It's the image type of this image is a thermographic forward-looking infrared, which is a FLIR. So, an incursion by an object of an unknown origin was filmed at a United States Joint Operations base in Iraq. The object was designated UAP and was tracked for a durational period. The object moved through a sensitive military installation and eventually traversed over a body of water where it actuated a controlled descent, submerging into the water. After an observational period of about 17 minutes, the UAP reemerged from the body of water and shot off at an extreme rate of speed. Beyond the optical scope of the observation platform, The origin, intent, and capability of the anomalous aerial vehicle remains unknown. Official designation remains UAP. So these are just other additional details that reported by direct eyewitnesses and those familiar with the full raw footage. The UAP displayed transmedium capability. The UAP was filmed entering the water with a controlled descent. The UAP emerged from the water about 17 minutes later and oriented into a sudden and rapid directional flight beyond the optical range of the platform monitoring it. The UAP displayed low observability. The UAP was not visible with night vision, IR, and appeared to jam the targeting capability of an optical platform. The UAP displayed positive lift without the normally associated aerodynamic means for lift and thrust. The signatures typically associated with the propulsion maneuvers observed were absent.
Wow. Wow.
Insane, dude. And the obviously, just to kind of describe a little bit of the video here, I'm watching it. It legit looks like jellyfish just floating around, just flowing. To me, at first glance, I thought it was a balloon. And I'm like, wait, in Iraq, a balloon?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just things don't jive, right? Just things don't really make sense when you look at the video. And of course, the gentleman that released this info is the Jeremy Corbell, Jeremy Corbell on X. He has a full, just kind of like description of what I just read with a video of the actual footage. So yeah, man, it's
Yep.
crazy. So all this more stuff is coming out, man.
It yeah, I see the video too, and it definitely looks, you know, it's there's a lot of weird things happening. I think you know, 2023 we saw a lot of stuff start to come out,
Yeah.
and I think 2024 it's gonna start coming out even more. And the videos are getting better, the reporting is getting better, and
yeah.
it's coming out to the point where disclosure should be imminent. I mean, it's there, you can't hide behind this stuff. So many people, this stuff has went mainstream. You can't hide it anymore. We need some answers. And the fact that the US government continues to keep silent on this topic is it's a detriment to all of us. And to me, I just feel like I know that they know information. I want to know why they are hiding it and suppressing it from us. Why are they keeping the truth silent from us? Because we can handle it. We can handle it. Just like, you know, Trump wouldn't he promised that he would release JFK information, and then he later on when he was leaving office said he was asked why he wouldn't release it, and he says, well, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't want this released. And I disagree. I don't think there's anything that puts our military and our top government officials in any position any better than the rest of us to know what is going on. So is it another country playing games? Is it our own country playing games? Because it just seems like a lot of this stuff happens where Americans are.
Yeah.
A lot of I don't know. I think there's some stuff going on. I think our government is hiding a lot of it, and they need to stop. They hide so much from us. In my lifetime, they've always hid stuff from us, but in my lifetime, they've gotten so used to just hiding everything now. Stuff that shouldn't matter to stuff that is probably legitimate state secrets. So, you know, legitimate state secrets, I'm okay. But to the extent that they're hiding everything now, that needs to end. I want our government to start opening their mouths and start telling us the truth. And you can start with these UAPs, UFOs, aliens, whatever they are, whatever you know.
Yeah, man. It seems like I said, it's almost at this point, as much as they're pumping out with all the stuff that they're disclosing, right? You almost get a sense of taste of like, or it's just slowly starting to feel we're trying to normalize it to where when something big really does happen, it's gonna be at that point where like, well, we already knew. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but when the day will come and what will it be? Who knows? That's the thing. That's the thing, right? How are they gonna roll this out? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Is it going to be like what Brad said, mentioned before, a Project Bluebeam esque type situation where it could be a projectile or something? Make it seem like it really is, but it really isn't.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, they
I'm
have it. They have it.
I just got a new book. It was written in 1991, actually, by a man named Bill Cooper, William Cooper. People, conspiracy theorists, are going to know the name. Early on in Alex Jones' career, Bill Cooper and Alex Jones kind of got into it. They really got
Oh,
into
okay.
it. And Bill Cooper was calling Alex Jones a slimy sensationalist. He was going in on our boy Alex Jones,
Oh
and
man.
then but he had a prediction that he would be killed by the government, and lo and behold, he ended up getting killed. Um,
Really?
yeah, there was a sheriff reporting his house, and ended up being a gunfight, and Bill Cooper ended up dying on his doorstep. So he wrote a book called Beyond. Let's see, Beyond the Pale Horse or something like that. I don't have it with me. I don't know where I put it. But
Okay.
anyway, I'll look up the title real quick. Yeah, Behold a Pale Horse. Yeah, it was written
Okay.
in 1991, and he talks about his background. He was a former United States Naval Intelligence Briefing team member, and he revealed information that remains hidden from the public eye, and the information has been top secret government files since the 40s. So he talks a lot about aliens and about all of this type of stuff, and about how the military was involved with it. Well, later on in his life, so this book is basically laying all of that out, saying that
Okay.
the U.S. government knows about these aliens, they know about the aircraft, yada yada yada, all the stuff that we've been talking about. But later on in his life, he began to feel like he was being duped, like the government was actually planting these seeds in his mind that aliens were real. And really, he started to say, you know what? I think the government duped me. They wanted to use me as a way to spread alien misinformation. I don't think that there's aliens at all. I think this is 100% man, and it's 100% from this planet. Everything we're seeing. So, so that's something to consider when you're talking about this kind of stuff, and is the fact that, are we being duped with this secrecy that the government is trying to keep from us, where they're trying to hold out for some so-called alien invasion via predictive programming, looking at all the alien movies where mankind has to come together in order to defeat these aliens. Well, in order for mankind to come together, we're going to need to usher in a new world government. We as Americans are going to have to relinquish our rights, and so do away with our constitution. And that's ultimately what the prevailing thought is in a number of circles, is that this alien UAP talk is actually just a big the big hoorah set up by the globalists and elites to sort of her round us up like cattle, and then consolidate power. So
Yeah, that would be a good play, and on their end, right? If they did that to where they can manipulate that, all of that for a certain agenda. See what I'm saying? And I
mm-hmm.
mean that very well could be the ploy, man. That could be very well the ploy where they set all these regulations to where, like, hey, we got these unidentified objects with these things that are not from this planet. We're gonna have to, have more control and keeping you guys safe. So you guys have to like do X, Y, and Z. See what I'm saying? So to kind of leverage certain laws, right? It's
Yep.
like that would make sense because at that point,
They
it's like if they're controlling the big picture,
Yep. And
dude, you got
they
you got in the bag.
the only way that they're going to be able to successfully do that is if they get our guns away from us, our Second Amendment. We are the only Western nation to have the freedoms, to the right to bear arms at the level that we do, that out of all the other Western nations in the world. And they want that to end. They want that to end. So prepare for a list of new laws to come through to where they can eventually start eroding our constitution, and they can't. That's the thing. That's what's been frustrating all of those those lawyers fighting for gun control, is that our amendment was written in stone to the point that it's almost impossible without some sort of huge event for us to relinquish our rights. That's one, we don't want to relinquish our rights, and we don't want to get rid of our freedom of speech. We want to be able to say what we want to say, and right after that, we want to be able to protect ourselves. And in the Constitution, it says against tyrants as well. So just as should be able to and am legally bound to protect myself from someone causing harm in my home or anywhere where I'm at, I'm also legally bound to protect myself from tyrants that end up running the nation. So that is, they don't like that. They don't like that, and so they're trying to come down hard on us. They've got to use something big, and it's got to be these aliens, and that they're trying to do. They're trying to set something up that's going to scare us so bad to the point that we end up saying, okay, here, take our guns, you protect us. And I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to fall for it.
Yeah, man. I mean, just with everything coming on, it's just more out there, right? Where it's like every other week something pops up, something's new, or just slowly people are coming out and really talking about their experiences or what they've seen or what they witnessed. I mean, dude, there's still a bunch of people out there probably that are working on these top secret level, highly classified, what is it, projects that they know something's going on. So when will that happen to where people will really come out and really kind of talking about all this stuff like just freely? I mean, I think we're seeing that slowly, but not as quick enough as we would want. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So yeah, man, time will tell, brother. Time will tell. That's definitely it's one of those topics where like I'm still on it, like I'm not as much as I was, just because it's like becoming more like more out there, where it's like every other week it's something going on. But what is it? What's going to be that next big thing that's going to happen to where it's going to be real mind blowing, right? Like it's going to just completely shake up the world and really get people's minds spinning on, is there life out there as we see it? You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Like the more I keep thinking about it, the more I watch all these videos about just space and just how this little blue marble is us, and there's just a bunch of stars, bunch of planets, galaxies. I don't know, man. Like I said, like one dude said it best: if we're truly the only living things here on this planet, it is a very, very lonely galaxy, dude, or
Mm.
just space. You
Well,
know?
me as a spiritual guy, I uh, I think there's more to the story, and I think that this body can die, but we have a spirit that lives
Mhm.
on, that is eternal, and so I can't wait. I'm excited to live the best that I can in this life, but I also look forward to what the next life has to offer. So,
And that's the one the one kick I've been on too, right? When you say that, like, this is just a vessel. Like this is just one of many vessels, right?
yeah,
Like what's after this? See what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
and I freak myself out. Like I said, as much as it's interesting to talk about, trust me, like there'll be times where like you get on that good convo. We talk about like what's after this life. How do we look at ourselves as in just like, us as humans, our bodies, but they say our souls or our spirits, they transcend and we become something much more, as we transcend or as our spirit leaves our vessels, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
what comes after this? And that's just like the big question. And people have just like the most, I mean, interesting theories, right? Like that's the one thing that, like, I guess it makes a very interesting a topic of discussion, because either if you come from a religious perspective or just a person where you say like, you just no, when you die, it's lights out, it's completely dark, and that's it. I mean, didn't you say, like, I think you shared this on the pod, like your experience, right? You said you had this dream where like you felt like everything was like dark or black or something like that,
Yeah.
and it was just quiet. And then your wife's like, well, That's not a good sign. And you were like, wait, what do you mean? It's not a good sign.
Yeah,
And then you're like, it freaked you out a little bit. I guess just kind of how I got that from what you were telling me. But it's like
not freaked out. It was just a weird thing. I was in
experience.
this. It was everything was black, and there was no pain. There was no fear. There was no nothing. It was just I was in this black place, and I thought, this is weird. This is not what I expected. And it
Mm-hmm.
was just black. That's all it was. And there was, and so, but I woke up shortly after. So there was not more, it wasn't long enough for fear to set in. So, say you're in the black place for a duration of time, you're going to
Yeah.
probably start getting scared. Like, okay, well, what do I do? I'm going to go
Yeah.
nuts. But
That's
yeah, it
it.
was, have
It's
you ever, oh, go ahead.
no, they say that like I mean we've also talked about this before, but like ayahuasca, shrooms, or just doing something like that to kind of give you a glimpse of like I guess it's showing you the meaning or purpose of life.
Opening your third
It's
eye.
opening your third eye, right?
Yes.
Um,
Your pineal gland.
it's like is it real? Like, do you really from your mind, right? Like, let's say you go through that process and you see whatever it is on the other side, like knowing that it will change your minds and thoughts about what this life really means and just kind of what's at the end of that at the end of the tunnel and what's after that, right? Like, could you be comfortable knowing that instead of having living through life to figure it out when the final day comes? Or it's like pressing forward, you rather know now, so you know now, and then you just live life knowing with that fact, like, okay, this is what happens after, or at least an idea of what could possibly be behind those currents. You know what I'm saying?
All I have is faith. All I have is faith. And my faith is telling me that the next life is going to be a lot better than what I'm dealing
Mhm.
with here. And so, but in order for that next life, to prepare for that next life, I have to live with the challenges that are in front of me in this life. And I
Mhm.
have to make sure that I'm living the best and being the best of my ability here in this life to prepare for that next life. So,
Yeah.
um, but I like, I'm not afraid of it at all. It's one of those things where I could, I could die tomorrow and I would know that myself, I would know that, okay, there's something else I'm going to. Now my journey continues into a new life. So that's what I look forward to. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't scare me. It really, um, it it's I will miss the people I love here, but I
Mhm.
know that eventually they will come join me, and by that time it will be an eternity, and we'll have eternity together at that point, and it'll be so much better than here. We won't have a government that is hiding secrets from us. That is, um, we won't have uh, the disparity of wages to the point where now rich globalists are trying to control our farms and control us. We won't be lied to. We won't be
Yeah.
hurt. They can't. We won't be cattle. We will just be free beings in what we are naturally designed to be. We're naturally designed to be free. We're naturally designed to be giving, loving. We aren't meant to harm and steal and hurt one another.
Yeah. Beautifully said, man. Beautifully said. I could have said it myself. I just hope we can still pod up there. You know what I'm saying? I hope we can still pod and continue the saga. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're
Uh,
definitely podding. Yeah, yeah. In the next
no,
life.
but going with that, right? Like, don't you find it interesting though in different cultures? Like the Egyptians would believe that the journey still continues. Like they always talk about the afterlife still being part of the journey of life. And if you really think about it, it's like Aztecs too. Like maybe not be going hand in hand, but like the Aztec Empire, like there would be people that would be willing to get sacrificed because they would find it of honor, but there was something else behind that, behind death. Like they didn't fear death at all. Like fast forward, we're living the day now. It's like people you would ask somebody like, I would think that people would say, yeah, I'm afraid of what comes after it because you don't know. Nobody knows, right? Nobody
Right.
can like, obviously pass away and be like, hey, this is what happens when this happens, or whatever,
Hmm.
So, but it's like back then, there was like much more honor, but there was much more like no fear behind it, where once you transcend from this life form to the next, they have their own beliefs of like what comes after that. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like there was much more of a story behind it, and now it's like people have this misconception where it's just like when you die, you pass away. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, when you die, that's it. You just close your eyes, it's black, and that's it. That's your life. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
and
dude.
I
Come
think
on,
there's
man.
going to be some people that do
Yeah.
that. I think there's going
Yeah.
to be, especially those in this life that really believe that. I think that they will be granted that wish where they just
Yeah.
close their eyes and they're gone, and you know,
Mhm.
it's not going to be anything to them because they won't know any different anyway. But for those of us that know we have this spirit that is eternal, we when we die, we know that okay, on to the next one, on to the next.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Have you ever heard? I won't read the full thing here, but it's a story called "The Egg" by Andy Weir.
No.
Um, well, he's basically talking about a man who dies, and
Mhm.
uh, and he says, like I'll start it off the story. It says, "You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident, nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and two children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered that you were better off, trust me. And that's when you met me. What? What happened? You asked. Where am I? You died. I said, matter of factly. No point in mincing words. There was a truck and it was skidding. Yep, I said. I died? Yep. But you didn't feel bad about it. Everybody dies. I said. You looked around. There was nothingness, just you and me. What is this place? You asked. Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God? You asked. Yep, I replied. I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died, and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. He looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I just looked like some man, or possibly a woman, some vague authority figure, maybe. More of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. And so he's going on to the story, right? And he says, basically you'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said, so that's what so the Hindus are right. All religions are right in their own way. I said, walk with me. So and then all of a sudden this man has to live every single life of every single soul. So like basically I when I die, I have to live your life at some point in time
Hmm.
until the end of it. And then by that time we'll be in heaven because we've been able to see life from every single standpoint. So
Interesting.
pretty wild, but yeah, it's a good little read if you want to
Good
look at
little
it.
read.
The Egg by
Yeah.
Andy Weir,
Interesting.
Weir.
Interesting. Yeah. It's yeah, man. In the topics of that, there's one that again, I think the Egyptians said the same this they said this in who was it? I gotta look this up. I want to be sure I get this correct because it's a pretty you got me thinking, because it's like let me see. Give me 1 second. Egypt, a man dies to the okay, here we go. Theo, an Egyptian, I would want to say of a high royalty, I believe. So Theo, I'd like to make a toast. The Egyptians believe that you die twice. Once when you take your final breath, and then again the last time someone says your name. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, damn. I heard like when I heard like, I'll be damned. Like that I would say that's true because they talk about right. You want to leave a legacy behind.
Yep.
I would be sure that people would talk about you after me too. After we're no longer here physically in this physical form, but our pod. I mean, dude, just think about it. Everything we've talked about, just knowing us as people, they can watch episode 1 up until now, right? Like if you really think about it, they can get to know us as people, not maybe up to fully be able to understand us. Like if I were to know you physically, like we know each other, like we know each other really, really, But for someone to like years and years and years and years down the road could like discover us, man, those two guys were pretty funny or pretty like just all over the board, crazy, wild. But hey, they enjoyed doing what they did. They showed like they had passion behind it, and they just enjoyed each other's company to really discuss all these wild things that were happening while they were alive. See what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that topic of conversation, like I think about it, like and it trips me out. Like, damn, like when I'm lower here, at least like my name will be out there. See what I'm saying? Like with a pod, hopefully, willingly, like we'll get to that point once we're like we set our bases really good, our foundation, and we get to a certain point to where we're really up there with the big dogs. But at least we're leaving behind the names and what we build as our legacy, right? And then we'll be forever eternal with the content. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in a way,
Yeah.
we're no longer gone. Like, no, they're there, but they're not there. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I
Yep.
think about it, it's like, damn, that's so true. That is
It's
so
it's
true,
it's
dude.
crazy too, with this AI stuff. I mean, I'm watching um there was a series basically on it's on Netflix now. I think it was on CW. I don't know what it was, but it was called The 100,
Yeah. Mhm.
and they have this AI figure where they're basically trying to build you eternally, but as an AI. So they're trying to learn everything you're doing so that when you die, your AI version of you is still alive. So it's as if you never died. So that was a
Mm.
pretty crazy concept.
That is pretty crazy. I don't know how I would look at that though, because it's like it's just a duplicate. That's how I see it. Like a
Well,
copy of you, pretty much, right?
yeah, I mean it's like it's an AI copy, and
Yeah.
there's no the thing AI, no matter how perfect it is, it's never
It's
going
never gonna,
to
yeah.
get it right. Plus, with AI, it's built by a human, and humans have biases, and so if there's all of a sudden, like, say I would normally say something in a certain situation, but then
Yeah.
times have changed, and then they're like, "Hey, these are the list of rules." These AI developers say these a list of parameters they have to go by. So if we live in this day where there's no such thing as religion, we're doing away with religion. If Brett would normally say something about God or his religion at that point, we're going to build those parameters to where he doesn't respond in that way. So then
Yeah.
now you have an altered version of you, and that is supposed to be just as believable. And I feel that they would go in that direction too.
Yeah, man. AI is just becoming so widely used with everything just because we're talking about it. It's there's a device coming out. It's not like it's not going to be integrated in your phone, but it's pretty much like an AI assistant and it'll do tasks for you and they're going to
Yes,
make it
you sent me
available.
that
Yes.
for $200.
And $200. So
I
you can
want it.
have an
I want it.
so you'll have a full-blown assistant at the price tag of $200 for it to do whatever it is that you needed to do.
Yep.
I mean, what it is, I mean, I
In
don't know, but yeah, it's crazy.
intrinsic. Yeah, no, seriously. I saw that thing and I was like, wow, dude, I actually like this thing. I'm not against AI assistants. I'm not against all of that stuff. I'm against what they are going to try to do with AI in the sense that they are going to try to control our behavior. That's what I don't want. And I know that once they have enough power to do so, they will. They just haven't had the opportunity yet, and the technology isn't there. But when it is, that's exactly where I feel like they're headed. Is they want
Yeah,
to control our behavior.
yeah. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised now that they really have this thing unlocked to where it's actually being able to like somehow being able to read us as humans and learn like our patterns, our thinking patterns, like what how can we sway people a certain direction to a certain thought or whatever, to where they're really using this data to feed this master AI computer, whatever, so it could benefit, these companies like Google or whoever, right? So they could just do whatever they want for that information.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how much free information these people have without our consent, to where like it is really a red flag in the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like they really have a lot of this stuff to where it could target me, target you, anybody else, right? And we're just so like nonchalant about it, like whatever, at least I'm not doing anything illegal, whatever. It's not really that, but it's like they really have a bunch of your info out there just floating around to at their expense to whatever they can do with it. Who knows? That's
Mm-hmm.
and that's the craziest thing at all. who knows, what they're doing with this stuff. So yeah,
It's
bro,
gonna be
it's wild,
weird.
man.
I've thought about like AI if they get to the point where um they can start taking government positions and professional positions such as like a therapist
Yeah.
is where you go to an AI therapist and they're helping you cope and helping you with this, and it's almost like you're just talking to a real person and you don't even realize. What about that AI model? Did you see that AI model?
Oh, okay. Let's talk about this. This is a good.
Yeah,
This is a good topic to end it off on.
yeah.
Holy smokes! I'll tell you what right now, and I'm gonna talk directly to the camera right now. All you OnlyFans girls doing this stuff, thinking that you're gonna bank on this any
Uh-huh.
longer, you're gonna be replaced so soon. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. And listen to this. Listen to this. Someone had created an AI model based female
Yep.
to make it seem like it was an actual person, made an OnlyFans account. Nope, and you can kind of tell, right? This it wasn't like a real person. But here's the crazy thing: I think it had over 200,000 subscribers. For one,
Mm-hmm.
how much money that it or the person running it made, who knows? But that's the thing. People, the fact that 200,000 people signed up for it
Yep.
should be alarming. I'm telling you that right now. And it's only going to get better. Trust me. You know why? I'll tell you why. What do you think people are doing right now with these AI programs to where they can do text to picture, picture to text, all this stuff? You already know what's going on, right? And there's a lot of pretty messed up stuff that's happening to where it's raising a lot of alarm to just in regards to young kids. It's just disgusting. And it's just like, there's a lot of fuck shit. Excuse my French, but there's a lot of fuck shit happening with AI programs that's just should be definitely fucking banned for one in those
Yep.
particular areas, whatever. But the mere fact that they're creating actual like alternative characters or characters in general, and people are signing up for this stuff. That's the crazy thing about it.
I know,
People are
man.
willing to pay money for this stuff that's not even real. But you
Yep.
know what? In their minds, they can create whatever they want. And they can be like, oh, so what does such and such want to see today? What would you like for me to wear? What would you like for me to do? And sure enough, they're paying a service for them to do that at their
Yep.
own will to like, I want you to do this, or whatever. I'm gonna pay $5 a month or whatever. Crazy, bro. But like I'm saying, OF girls, the time is running out. They've
What?
already cracked the code with this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild because OnlyFans was supposed to be the safe haven where they were protected from AI. AI
Look,
took their
there's
job
somebody
at
coming to that.
McDonald's, so they went to
Oh, dude,
OnlyFans.
it's like dudes are taking they're gonna take the jobs. A bunch. I'm guaranteeing you, there's gonna be dudes creating that type of stuff to get paid,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like they crack the code. Like, hey, I can do this at the comfort of my own chair, just doing all this stuff, entering all these requests. Boom, done. There you
Yep.
go. There's your video, whatever.
Yep.
Give me those $10 a month. It's crazy, bro.
Ain't
And it's
that
happening.
something,
It's
man?
happening. It's a real thing. It's happening. It's a
Man,
real thing,
way to cap it at the end there.
dude.
Way to
I
cap it
know.
off.
I wish I could pull up the thing, but I see just so much stuff in regards to just these articles that are just like I said, it's like in the heat of the moment, right? It's cool to talk about, but of course, we got our lives that we do what we got to do, and it's just like culminating what we want to talk about at the end of the week when we record this. It's there's just so much on our plate to it's like which way do we go? See what I'm saying? So
Yep.
we try to do our best, peeps, to really kind of bring to the forefront of things to really talk about that are of interest to us and would be interesting for all you people to enjoy. So yeah, we do our best. We do our best. But that one
It's
right there, that one's crazy. Good thing you brought that one up. That one had me in the world when I heard about like, yo, someone not a real person has over 200,000 subscribers, and I'm bet you these people are paying for this stuff. It's just crazy. It's not real. You're
yeah.
paying money for this? Crazy. But
That's what
hey,
we need to do.
you
We
be
need to
the fool
figure
for
out.
that. Cool.
We need that AI, that same AI program to put you and I in
Oh,
there
dude.
and feed it all these articles and say, okay, now you go be AI Brett, you go be AI Eddie,
Eduardo.
and AI Brad, and then just programming. Okay, Brett's gonna take the conspiracy stuff, Brad's gonna take the sports, Eddie's gonna take the UAPs and everything else.
Yeah.
And
Dude, it would yeah,
dude, and
dude,
then you
that's
just build an
genius.
AI conversation based on articles, citing sources, putting up articles, pictures on the thing. There you go. And then we just
Dude.
make the check.
Hey man. Right there. See, cracking the code, and just
Yeah.
make me ripped. I want to be ripped, and I want to be maybe a little bit taller. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
we could
you
do
know
that
what?
for sure.
Just as a quick thing, Skilo, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a 6'4"
Mm.
Impala. Yeah, I was playing that song today for my little
Yeah,
girl in the back seat,
yeah.
and and I would look back and I go, "Did you like that song, honey?" And she goes, "That's rap." And I go, "I know it is, but did you like
That's
it?"
rap. That's rap.
That's rap. Yeah,
That's
just gave
funny.
gave me that private school stare. Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking, Dad? But I go, no, but that was a good song, right? And she goes, yeah, I liked it. And it just reminded me back at 95. I remember being a kid listening to that song, and it just brought me back to hip hop used to be fun, man. It used to be so much fun. We used to have that, and then it just, you know, the gangsterism, the trapping, and the all of that stuff took over, and we don't
Yeah.
have any of that anymore. We need our skilos back, man. We need our
Yeah.
our salt and peppers back. We need all that. It was
Yeah.
fun,
I
man. It was a
agree.
fun time.
Would you just a question before we end this one out? Do you kind of feel like the early and late like the 90s was, I would consider, the peak of everything.
Well,
Like,
it's been called the golden era ever since.
okay, okay, okay.
The murder of Tupac and Biggie was the end of the golden era. That was the catalyst that ended the golden era in rap. So yes, that was definitely the peak. It was the golden era. There was
Yeah,
so much good music coming out back
yeah.
then.
It's almost like you take for granted. Like, there's times where, like, and again, I'm guilty to this because this is true. When a hot album would drop from a good artist at that time, there'd only be like two or three songs that you would know were hits, right?
Uh-huh.
But you would look over all the tracks, and then you go back and you'd be like, yo, this is pretty fire.
Yeah.
Like, there, and it's like
It's
a regret for
because
me. You know what I'm
I
saying?
thought about the same thing. I thought about
Yeah,
the same thing, and I said it's because there were so many artists coming out with everything.
yeah,
MTV was just constant rotation. BET
yeah,
constant rotation of just hot, hot, hot fire. So we were getting so many songs all at once that were fire. That was all we had the bandwidth for, and it wasn't until time passed where we'd have to go back and dig back into our crates and pull out one of the vinyls to put it back on and be like, you know what? Wow, that whole CD was fire. You know?
yeah, yeah, man. Dang, dude. Just reminiscing about just back in those days, man. Buying CDs, going to Target, Sam Goody,
Yeah.
FYE. Damn, there's a bunch of other ones that I can't name off
I
rip.
remember the
And then,
Master P ones. I loved everything coming out of No Limit because
yeah,
he went over the top with his album
the album covers and
covers
stuff like that.
because they
Yeah,
were all like
yeah,
the colored plastic. The other ones would be
yeah,
just the
yep,
clear
yep,
plastic with the booklets in it.
yeah,
Master P put out like colored plastic, and they were hard, like they were all shiny gold or like platinum plated, gold plated, diamond plated, and they were beautiful. They were works of art themselves.
yeah, man.
And
And
yeah,
just going through
man.
like the booklet too to see what it has, like if it's something cool, like some cool art, whatever. Like the booklet itself, just going through it and just checking it out too. It was kind of like an extra, like almost like the icing on the cake, right? You got a good album, good CD, good
Well,
music, and
and
then you have a booklet, right? Or a
we didn't
poster. Like sometimes they come
yeah,
with a poster, you know?
posters too, yeah. and
Yeah.
and what and the bonus for me was when they would put the lyrics in the booklet so you
Yes.
could open the book
Yes.
and read the lyrics, because we didn't have the
Yes.
googs back then.
No,
We didn't
yeah,
we
yeah.
couldn't just Google, oh, what lyrics to hypnotize. No, you know you could just open the booklet, and then, oh, there were the lyrics right there. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dang, dude. What a time. What a time. How things have just shifted. You know what I'm saying? Where everything's digital now. Everything's on the internet, on your phone, not physically anymore, you know? Like,
complicated
dude, and
complicated and
even
impersonal.
so Best Buy got rid of all their DVDs now officially. So at Best Buy, you can't buy DVDs anymore.
Just
They
Blu-ray
got
or
rid of
what?
it. Not even Blu-ray.
Oh,
Not
wow.
even Blu-ray.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything, yeah. It's from what I understood. I saw the article that they were like just hashing out a bunch of stuff like CDs too, and just movies as well, bro. So you're getting rid of a lot of
Dude,
that.
I was out shopping earlier today, and I
Yeah.
was this close. I will get it, but I was this close to getting a record player. This
You know,
close.
tell me why I've been thinking about the same thing too.
Really?
Straight up, like I'm like, man, I
Synchronicity,
got
bro.
yeah, I got that obviously the Tupac album, but I don't want to crack it open. I don't want to crack it open.
You
I
should.
kind of want to
You
say that.
should. But
Yeah, but I've been thinking about the same thing too, man. That's crazy.
yeah, I do. I want,
Interesting.
some of those, and I'll get some of the classic vinyls, but I want, some of. I definitely, I'll have to rebuy. I do have the Tupac All Eyes on Me somewhere
Yes,
around here.
sir.
I'd definitely be throwing that on there,
Yeah.
but maybe not with the
Dope,
kids around.
dope.
But
You're all peeking like, are they out of
yeah,
the house? All right.
yeah. Where
Crank
they
it.
at? Where they at? Where they at? Yeah,
Oh
bro.
man, good
That's
stuff. Good
good
stuff,
stuff.
man. Good way to end it. Good way to end it, definitely. So we're gonna wrap this one up, people. Of course, we want to come in here to the virtual studio and just bang this one out. We were kind of undecisive, to see if we were gonna, record an episode for this weekend, but we did. Had some technical difficulties, but we got that squared away. It was mostly on my end. Stupid of me, of course. I definitely need to hit the googs and get things, dialed up and notched in for next time, But no, we're good. We definitely set sail and here we are. But of
Yeah.
course, I just want to remind everybody definitely, I appreciate everybody liking our videos, watching our videos, if it's our shorts, our reels. It goes a long way. I've been noticing a lot of traction on our Instagram page, on our reels
Big
that we've been
time.
posting up.
Big
Big
time.
time. We've been getting a lot of traction. Very thankful for that. Very thankful.
Yes.
There's a lot of hard work that it goes into this stuff on everybody's end. Just making sure we're posting up reels and just providing good content overall. Just
I
taking the
want to
time out of our day to kind
I
of
want to
just
thank the
do this.
person that spotted me on my style. They noticed my Costco jacket. Yeah, that was a
Hell
Costco
yeah.
jacket, bro.
Say damn
Yeah,
straight.
definitely. I was rocking it, and
And I'm gonna keep rocking it.
I'm gonna keep rocking it. I love it, man.
Dude.
Yeah,
I
Costco
thought
does
that
me
was your
good.
nicest one. I thought that was your nice ass jacket.
No, my
Your nice
Pendleton. I've got that in the hanger. I'll break out the
okay.
Pendleton, but I've got
Yeah,
to
that
break
was
out
sick.
that with the cowboy hat as well. I'll do that.
Sick, yeah, definitely. The drip's immaculate, so definitely they don't miss when they see something elf chase. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
definitely,
Uh-huh.
we're always swagged that up here. But no, again, thank for everybody that's been tuning in. Thank you everybody that's been watching. Of course, go check us out on Instagram, as it says below, Beyond Expedition Podcast, where you find all the latest and greatest in regards to the pod, updates, just announcements of when we drop new episodes, preview clips to our episodes when we're about to drop them, all that jazz. And of course, in our bio, there's a direct link where it'll take you where all the platforms that we're available on at the single click of a button. Boom, it'll take you there, direct access. And also, our YouTube link is on there as well. All of our full episodes on there as well. If
Yeah.
you're more of an avid video watcher, go check that out as well. Subscribe. Hit the notification button to where it'll notify you when we upload either a short or a brand new video. You'll be alerted. You'll be the first one to know, hey, the boys has some new content up for you to enjoy. And yeah, it'll make it easy for you and everybody else that follows along as well. So we'll catch you in the next one. We're gonna clock out. We'll catch you on the next episode. We'll definitely be back at La Casa at B Rad's Palace, and we're gonna continue on, banging out more content. And yeah, we're gonna get his insight on some stuff when we talked about in the beginning of this episode about sports. I'm sure he definitely wants to lay down some thoughts and opinions he has on that.
For
So
sure, for
we're
sure.
we're gonna sign out. We're gonna catch you the next one. Take care, everybody. Have a safe Saturday or safe Friday when this drops. We'll catch you next one. Stay safe out there, people. We love you. Peace.